Welcome to Rep U. Yeah, I know. I've changed the name like 4 different times, but it's because I was trying to work out what I was going to call my parenting program, and we finally settled on reverse engineer parenting, REP, rep. So this is Rep U, double entendre there, Rep U as in yourself as a parent, as well as Rep U as in Rep University, where we learn some things. All right, enough of that nonsense. Let's get to what I wanted to talk about today, which is coaching your kids. Now, I played sports all my life. My children are very into sports. I currently coach high school kids. And I used to be the hardcore, yelling, screaming, passionate coach, right? But, that just doesn't work with today's generation as well as it did with mine or the ones previous to mine. That's how I was coached coming up, and it just didn't seem to get as good of results with the kids that I was coaching when I started my coaching career. And quite frankly, my dad, he coached me almost all the way through every sport I played until I got to high school, and he was he would embarrass you. It would get to the point where I would kind of have like tears in my eyes a little bit, or I even remember at the age of 13 one day playing a basketball game where it finally like went in one ear and out the other, and I really never listened to his coaching again. But he also never really coached me again because I was moving on to high school. But that's besides the point, and besides the point that was back when you could pay $40 to play at the local YMCA boys club. The whole city played, and it was super competitive, and there wasn't this travel ball or club ball that's costing thousands of dollars, or even the basic leagues that are now like $300, $400, $500 for 9 weeks. Whole other subject, whole other issue I have. But this year, I decided to coach my oldest son. Now, I always said I would never coach my kids. And maybe that's because of my history with being coached by my dad all my life. It wasn't bad. I just wanted them to have access to different coaches, learn from different people, have those experiences, see that there are some really good coaches, some mediocre ones, some okay ones, some horrible coaches, and some good ones. I wanted them to get the full range of that experience. So I just said, I'm not going to coach you. But this year, to try to reduce some of those prices, I asked if I coached, could we have some discount? Because I got 3 boys, So when I sign up for something, it's not, just that price. It's that price times 3. So we were able to get a discount. Now, my son turns 10, my oldest. He turns 10 this Tuesday. And before we even started, I told him, listen, I don't want you to take anything personal. Know that I'm still dad, but when I'm coaching your team, I'm coach. So I expect you to follow through with the rules and the expectations and what's being asked of you the same way I expect of all the other kids. And in the first couple practices, I noticed, was I being hard on him? I could see in his face that when I say something to him, he's not taking it the same way other kids are. Is that because I'm his dad? Am I being a little more gentle with the other kids? Am I being a little more harsh on him? Am I trying to be objective, but really there's a bias because we all expect more from our kids than we do from other people's children? And I sat back and I thought about it. And it made me think about my dad and his style. And though I would never coach the way my dad coached, one, because I'd probably be fired and exiled from, the state of California immediately. But two, that's just not conducive to what I'm trying to do these days, or doesn't work really well with these kids. I did notice something. My dad was the same mean cuss with me that he was with everyone. And I thought to myself, as long as you're consistent across the board, whether your coaching style is that of old school, new school, somewhere in the middle, because I'm not going to tell you how to coach. You're the coach. Coach how you want. As long as you're consistent to where your child gets the same treatment that every other child gets, then you're okay. You truly are. If you're doing more for your child or being harsher on your child than everyone else, when you're coaching a team, you might want to take a step back. And if you're too light or too gentle on your child when you're harsh on everyone else, you may want to check yourself there, because you're actually setting your kid up to be ostracized by the rest of the group. So I realized I'm consistent. The same way I talk to him is the same way I talk to these other players. He's taking it maybe a little bit more because he's got to come home with me, and in front of other kids, when I tell him I need you to do this, 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 and this, he sees it as dad telling him instead of coach. Because if any other coach would tell him the exact same way I did, he wouldn't have a problem. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he would go on and do his thing. Now, he didn't have a problem. I just felt that way. And maybe that's one of my insecurities that I was going into with it was I going to be too, caught up in my head and my emotions because my son was there? But no, I was consistent. Now, you may not coach your kid, and maybe you're a parent on the sideline. Well, in that case, let the coach do the coaching, right? That's what he volunteered to do for the most part, especially if you got young kids, and if they're older kids in high school, that's what he gets paid to do, or she gets paid to do, or she's volunteering to do. So let them do their job. They don't come to your job and tell you how to do yours, do they? You don't like it? Let them finish out the season, switch teams. But even still, I think you're setting the wrong message for your child in doing that, unless there's some huge tragedy or atrocity that happened. And if you work with your kid at home on their skills and try to help them, so technically you do coach them, make them have fun. Make them learn the game. Let them be themselves. Let them enjoy it. Don't be so hard on them trying to live out your dream through them, or trying to hopefully get them to their dream, right? That you burn them out, or they don't want to be a part of the sport anymore because it's not fun. I've seen so many kids go through the ranks, even make it to high Division I athletics and beyond that, and they didn't really want to play. They're just doing it because that's what mom or dad pushed them that direction, and now it's a thing they do that they're good at. But they're not happy, right? So regardless, let me go back to my original point. If you're on the sideline, be on the sideline. If you're working at home with your kid, don't be a drill sergeant. Teach them the game. Let them have fun. But if you're coaching your kid, be consistent across the board with every single kid on that team, including your own, and you'll never have to worry. Only thing you have to do then is take a look at your coaching style and see if it's getting the results you actually want for your team and your individual players. All right, that's Rep U. Check out all social media at RebirthBX. Again, reverse engineer parenting program online, super affordable for any parent, $35. Go to the website, rebirthbx.com. Click REP Rep at the top. It'll take you to reverse engineer parenting, that first drop down, the first tier of the program. Go get that program. Make yourself the best version of you so you can be the greatest possible parent. I'll holler at you guys next week.